At E3, you announced 5 more studios. Is there more coming?
Well, I think what you've seen is that Phil Spencer said that we are stepping up our commitment to first-party content at Microsoft Studios. That started with the appointment of Matt Booty as the head of Microsoft Studios. And at E3, you saw at that show alone, we announced 5 new acquisitions. So basically doubling our creative teams overnight. It's exciting. It's an exciting time. And I think that, while we don't pre-announce things, I think you're seeing that the level of commitment is there, and that we believe in continuing to grow that content. It's been great. I mean, for me, getting to work with the folks at Ninja Theory as an example, huge fans of their work. Been really excited to see We Happy Few come out from the team at Compulsion, of course. And then we've got Forza Horizon 4, first hands-on for consumers here at a Playground. And then we know they're working on a second project as well.
I wonder what it is.
We don't yet know what that is.
Is it a fabulous project?
We know that the team is going to go do something really special. And, for us, we want to be thoughtful about when we reveal what that is. But they have a second team there. It's extra capacity. And we think that when the time is right and the team is ready, fans will be excited about what we have to share. And then Undead. I mean, Undead, is just one of our breakout titles of this spring. And we have State of Decay here. We're going to world premiere the Daybreak Pack, which is a massive, massive update, a new zombie siege, horde-like mode. So yeah, there's a lot. I mean, that's just from those. And then, of course, the initiative is a whole new studio starting from scratch.
The new studio was a great surprise.
It is a great opportunity to start from scratch. Foundation around, a senior leader like Daryl Gallagher. People know his background. He led Crystal Dynamics, the whole Tomb Raider reboot. And he's been announcing some of their key hires, just an incredible list of people that have been working across the industry. So it's an exciting time, but know that the company is focused on investing, continuing to grow our content. And we're going to be bringing more and more games to our fans, no matter what device they're playing on, and helping grow services like Xbox Game Pass.
Interestingly, some of those studios have a great single-player pedigree. Can we say that Microsoft is looking at single-player games with a renewed interest?
Yeah, no, we love single-player games. I mean, if you remember, Phil was on stage wearing, Player One shirt. So it's something that we absolutely believe in, and you're right. I mean, I think the thing about these studios that makes them unique is really, first and foremost, they are really incredibly talented developers that make really high-quality games. Most of these tend to be focused, if you think about Compulsion or Ninja Theory or Undead, they're making games that are uniquely different than something that we're doing today in our first-party studios. So these games are different than Forza or Halo or Gears or, some of the franchises that people know us for. And so that's going to add to the diversity of the content. We don't deliberately go, we want a studio that's just going to make first-party games, or we want people to go make great games. So we want to give them the independence and the focus to go do that. Ultimately, we know that gamers, all the data shows gamers like to play a wide variety of games. People want to play co-op games, they want to play multiplayer games, and they want to play single-player games. And we want to make sure that we have the best of those games coming out of our internal studios as well.
Circling back for a moment to Playground Games' new title, how long have they been working on it?
I don't know the exact timing, but I know that they've been building that second team for some time now, and they're still building it. And with that said, it's kind of the same situation where there's a second dedicated team. They're now officially part of our family, which is great. And, I think if you look at Playground and their pedigree and the way that they approach game development, the sense of purpose they put behind it, the care, the thoughtfulness, even with Forza Horizon 4, a lot of people were saying, what are they going to do? What's going to be the next big innovation? How do they, but the team is so talented, and just know that same leadership and the same kind of thought process, what they're bringing to seasons and just totally innovating open world gaming with Forza Horizon 4, that same leadership, that same kind of talent pool is going to be driving influence on this second project. And so while it's a secret project, and I understand that you and probably all gamers out there are the thing they want to know the most about, we just ask for a little bit of patience, but know that making sure a world-class team is working on a big, big exclusive game for our fans is something they should be excited about.
It appears that Microsoft has been investing a lot, not only the studios, but also Game Pass, that can't have been cheap to create. Can we say that Microsoft as a corporation and Satya Nadella have opened the war chest to help the Xbox division grow?
Well, a couple things here. I think first is I think gaming is playing a bigger role in the company. The fact that Phil Spencer is reporting directly to the CEO, and just the importance of gaming as a strategic investment for the company. No, that's never been more focused on what we're seeing today. And there's a lot of exciting opportunities for us to leverage, all the power and resources that we have at Microsoft. We talked about things like Microsoft AI and how we're using that to enable things like fast start technology for gamers, or the whole Azure cloud team and what they're able to do there as we think about the future of game streaming and cloud is really, really exciting. But, for me, what I really love about this team is that we are really customer obsessed. We put our fans first in everything we do. And that's why you see investments in things like Game Pass. It's an incredible value. But we put all this, we frame through the eyes of our fans. And we know that today our fans in other forms of entertainment, be it streaming video or music, get the great value from subscription services. So we wanted to put together and really pioneer the world's greatest game service that's ever been built. And we're really quite proud of what we've been able to do with Xbox Game Pass. You're right, over 100 games, plus all of our new exclusive games day and date. Just a tremendous, tremendous value. The response has been great, especially here in Europe. We've seen incredible response to Game Pass, and we're continuing to add more and more games to the service. In fact, here at Gamescom, we're announcing that we're bringing Master Chief Collection, which is now updated in 4K with HDR and even 60 frames per second support to Game Pass on September 1st. And then a game that launches at the show is going to be Aftercharge, which is another great game. So it's kind of just a great service with new games coming in every month. And, of course, all of our big new releases when they launch.
This generation went how it went, but can we say that Microsoft is preparing to win the next?
It's interesting how you determine when, because I think, winning in many cases today...
Of course, I'm not just talking about the numbers of consoles sold.
Well, for us, again, it gets back to that customer focus. Today, we feel like we're in a great place where we have the world's most powerful console with the Xbox One X. You have 40% more processing power, than the competition on their high end. And so that's why you're seeing that head-to-head, every single game, whatever game you're a fan of, these games are playing in 4K, running at higher frame rates. And so that same team that innovated on the Xbox One X is also thinking about the future of hardware as well. So our commitment to continue to lead and innovate and deliver that premium experience for our fans absolutely is there.
I bet you can't answer this, but I'm going to try anyway. Is the Scarlet name real?
Oh, I can't comment on any of that. So we don't talk about internal code names, whether you get them right or not. But I think the point is that, listen, if you're a gamer, and this is the way I always think about this, is because I am a gamer, but I think of myself through the eyes of our customers. How should I feel about Xbox's commitment to me? And, hopefully fans feel like, they did deliver with the world's most powerful console. They've delivered with things like backward compatibility, over 500 games. We've delivered with the world's best online gaming community with Xbox Live, pioneering things like Game Pass. And now they're telling me, listen, all this investment you've made in your gaming catalog and your friends list and your achievements, we're thinking about that really thoughtfully as we think about the future, as we're innovating with new investments and new capabilities for the future, whether it be the commitment to continue to innovate in the console space or to pioneer things like cloud gaming and enable that console quality experience to work across devices no matter where you are. And so for me, that's really exciting, and to be able to have access to this content and this services. And again, it gets back to that point about we want players to be able to play with games they want, with the people they want, on the devices they want. And that's really how we're thinking about the future.
Things have been quite difficult in Japan. Do you think Microsoft has what it takes to regain some ground there?
I mean, we love Japan, and, Phil goes there, every year, it's in many cases multiple times a year. If you looked at our E3 briefing, we had the most Japanese content we've ever showed at one briefing ever. And I think that is really speaking to the partnership and the relationships we built. I mean, right behind you, we have hands-on Kingdom Hearts 3 from our partner Square Enix here at Gamescom. That's a franchise that we know is loved. Being able to announce and world premiere something like Jump Force from our partners at Bandai Namco, I mean, it's great. So I think our commitment and our support from Japanese developers has never been stronger, and we want to help them succeed on a global stage, and that continues to be our focus. And we know our fans want those great Japanese games. And so that's why even some of the games that we got later, we made sure that we showed them at E3. We made sure we highlighted them so we know they matter to our fans. And again, we always take that lens of like, putting our fans first as we think about content, and we know Japanese content is important, and that's why you're seeing us grow our content, and we'll continue to focus on that.
I'm pretty sure Phil gets asked quite a lot before E3 if there is going to be any JRPG on stage.
Yeah, well, I mean, of course we want more JRPGs, but in general, the people that are making those games today are the third-party partners, and so it's great to have Kingdom Hearts is an example of that, and it's great to be able, to bring, some old fan favorites as well to the platform.
Now that you're working on a new console that may or may not be named Scarlet, how would you describe the mood at Team Xbox?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I've been on the team now for 18 years, and I remember those early days when we were, pioneering the original Xbox, and I think when we were leading up to the X, there was just incredible excitement because it felt like we were getting back on top of the mountain as we think about, product truth, leadership, innovation. Now, a year later, to come back and to be able to double our first-party studios, to see most third-party partners I've seen taking full advantage of the power of our platform, and then all the innovation forward. The team is... I would say the biggest thing right now I love is that the team is all united on one big vision. And so it feels like we're in many cases like all in the boat together, just rowing all together. And I'll tell you, the power of a team and an organization that's all aligned on the same vision, the same strategy, and working together, that's unstoppable. And, I've seen a lot of companies that will have multiple ambitions and try a lot of different things and see what works. That's really hard. We are really focused on a big mission, and it's great to see everybody from the hardware team to the software team to the services team all focused on that together. And I'll tell you, the future is bright. And I could say I don't think I've ever been this excited about the future of gaming, the future of our team. Not just with console hardware and our studios innovation, but I think about the growth of cloud, I think the growth of community, the growth of content. There's just tons of opportunity there. And so, we're like re-energized. We're ready to go do another 20 years of this. So sign us up.
Yesterday, NVIDIA announced its RTX technology, and ray tracing appears to be one of the next big things in gaming. Of course, the DirectX team is all in with it, but is the Xbox team looking into that kind of tech as well?
Yeah, so you're right. I mean, that same team that pioneered that with DirectX, those same developers, whether it's on the silicon side, we do custom silicon in some cases. We work with partners in other cases. So we have a world-class team on that. And we're always looking at making sure that we take advantage of all the latest technology where it makes sense. And so, we have deep partnerships with everybody from Intel to AMD to NVIDIA to everyone in the industry. And that is how we think about our roadmap, future tech mapping. And there's always trade-offs and decisions that sometimes we can't explain to every gamer unless they're sitting there in the conference room with us. But I think what we delivered with X is a great example where a huge step up in GPU capability, huge step up in memory capability, and some nice CPU upgrades as well. But that was purposely built to deliver true 4K gaming in the living room this generation. And so, but we'll have a sense of purpose and what our intentions are as we think about future hardware innovation as well.
What is Aaron Greenberg most excited for right now, besides his awesome Xbox sneakers?
I am wearing my Nike E3 Air Force Ones Jordans right now. But wow, for me, I am so grateful, to be honest, that I get to work in an industry that I love with a great team of people. I'll tell you, I lead the games marketing team, and the people that we work with, like from the hotel lobbies to the restaurants to everybody, it feels like a family. And you don't get that a lot in a lot of teams, but we really do have that kind of work family team kind of approach. We love to travel together. We love to be together. We're a really supportive team. Everybody works really hard. We have a really high standard of what we want to do. But I think I'm mostly proud of just the people that I get to work with and how fortunate I am that I have a great boss. We have a great leadership team. I think Phil sets the tone at the highest level, and of course Satya for the whole company. And so, I just feel really fortunate that I get to be in my dream job, do what I love, and get to work with people that it's frankly an honor to get to work with every day.
Phil is in tears. I will have to ask you instead. How do you think Phil Spencer is feeling right now?
It's funny because I was teasing Phil. I was in a meeting with him before I came out here, and as we were talking about different events and whatever, and Phil was saying, like, oh, okay, you guys are going to go to that event. I'm not going to go to that event. I said, oh, don't worry, Phil. We'll tell him, like we just saw Phil. This is what Phil was thinking, or what, like, well, I was just, because Phil's so down to earth. He stopped when we go get a latte at the coffee bar in our building. He knows everybody. He knows the receptionist. He knows the person making his latte, and he knows, like, all about their family and what they're doing this weekend. He's just that kind of guy. And so while he can't be everywhere, it is fun to tease him a little bit about that. But no, I mean, Phil's great. I mean, I think what makes Phil really unique for me is just that he's always 2 or 3 steps farther into the future as he's kind of thinking about the strategy and the opportunity. And so a lot of us are thinking about how to run the business or how to kind of pioneer the business for the next year. But what Phil's thinking about is like 2, 3, 4 years down the road. And so he's painting that vision, that strategy, and asking a lot of the, like, what if questions, or why can't we do that, or should we be doing this, that you would want from a great leader. And I think we're really fortunate to have somebody with that kind of vision. But then also we'll go and sit down and play the latest game release from, like, an ID dev. And so it's awesome to sit in his office and hang out with him and play games and listen to him chat about the industry, to figuring out how do we architect our future roadmap and our strategic investments. And so I think we're really fortunate to have somebody like Phil at the helm.
What is the biggest learning that you got in this generation and you're going to carry into the next?
I think the biggest thing for any company is never lose sight of the customer. Always put your fans first. And if you think about them with every key decision you make, from every new product to every pricing decision to every launch date to just how you roll things out, if you put your customers first, you'll be all right. And so I think that's the most important thing you can never lose focus on. And I'm really proud of that. This is a team that you see, this leadership team that's in place is a team that's been kind of leading the business, I'd say, kind of post Xbox One launch. And if you've seen what the team's done there around backward compatibility, around innovation with hardware, around things like the Elite controller, all the innovation. And so much of that comes from listening to our fans. And so it feels like they've been a part of that journey with us. And we love our fans. I mean, we're this week here at Gamescom, we're renting a boat on the Rhine and taking 1,000 of our biggest fans for just a giant party to thank them for their support. So we never want to lose that focus, and I think that's the most important thing as we think about this team and what guides us in the future.